Brothers and sisters, Aaron Clark here. Psalm 23 Challenge, Week 4. Verse 4 says, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. That first part of the verse is what I want to talk to you about today. David basically is saying, look, looking back over my life, I realize bad things happen. The Bible speaks of it by saying evil has befallen him. So we're not just talking about wickedness or wicked people, but what we're talking about are the things that can happen. You know, in our culture today, our culture is driven by fear. People are controlled and manipulated by fear every day. They fear the next disease, the next drop in the economy, the next job loss, losing their possessions, losing family members. And all of these things can happen. A lot of these things did happen to David. But what David said was that regardless to what happens around him, what has happened in his life, what he sees happening all around him, he says, you know what? I am not going to allow fear to paralyze my life, because I can look back and see that out of all that has happened to me, the Lord, who is my shepherd, who has caused me to be satisfied, who has brought me to green pastures beside still waters, who has restored my soul from all the brokenness and pain and hurt. He is with me. And David went on as far as to say that, you know what, I can be in the deepest valley or pit, and it can be shadowed over by death, and not even that will cause me to fear, because I know God. I think when we think about death, David looked at death and said, as big as death is, as vulnerable as I am to death, that I can see a light shining, casting a shadow. So David saw something that was greater than death, and he said that was my shepherd that is shining bright. And that is why I will not fear evil. I will not fear what can happen to me. I will not fear what man can do to me. I will not feel loss or hurt or pain or sickness, because God is with me. And he's been more than a friend. He's been a shepherd. He's been a father. He's been faithful. He's been holy. He's been God. As we continue to look at how he comforts us with his rod and his staff, I want you to pray about that and think about what those things mean. And think about how big the biggest thing in your life is for you right now. Are you afraid, or do you believe God can pull you out of it? Is your life paralyzed by fear? Have the thoughts of things happening to you, or the anxiety of burdens, or the dread of anything gripped your soul to the point that you are not productive, or you are not working to the maximum capacity because of fear? David said, I'm not going to live that way, because God is with me. Friend, God is with you too, and you should know that. And if you don't know that, learn to know. Look around and think about where you could be. Think about where you should be, and know that it's only because of the grace of God that you're not. Till next time, see you later.